Hello and welcome back once again to movie reviews. As I said in the last video, I did get a chance to see a couple movies this week, and hopefully I can see some more. But if not, then actually there is one more I can see at my home theater, so there will be at least one more movie review this year. But like I said, there are some things opening at the theater across town I really want to see, so hopefully I can find a way to get over there and see them. But the other movie I got to see while I was over there was Goosebumps. Again, I know it's been out for a while, but I wanted to see it. Wasn't really a huge fan of the Goosebumps books. I did watch the TV series. I think not very many episodes of it, like maybe 3 or 4 episodes, and then I kind of lost interest in it. So I wasn't a huge fan of Goosebumps, but I wanted to see this anyway, just to see how it played out. And more or less, it's exactly what you see in the trailer. Boy moves to a new town, meets his neighbor, who happens to be R.L. Stine. Tells him, stay away from me and stay away from my daughter. And boy doesn't listen. He sneaks into the house to see if the daughter's okay at one point, because he hears her and her father fighting, and he thinks that something might have happened. So he sneaks in the house to check on her. Turns out she's fine. Finds all the Goosebumps manuscripts and accidentally opens one. The daughter kind of takes off running, and after the abominable snowman, because that's when he shows up. And they're like, "Well, what's going on?" She's like, "I don't have time to explain. Just leave me alone and let me take care of this before it destroys the town." So they keep following her and getting in her way and trying to help her out. And then finally, they get let in on what's going on. They get back to the house to put the book away, and they find out that another one had been opened on accident when the abominable snowman was tearing up the house. And that one that had come out was intelligent, so it found the key and was releasing all the other ones. So all the monsters that R.L. Stine ever created were loose in the city and destroying everything. So they have to figure out a way to capture them all. And that usually just involves getting a hold of the manuscript, getting close enough to suck them back into it. Except the character who set them all free has been burning the books as he releases them. So there's no manuscript to suck them back into. So over the course of the movie, they decide, well, why don't you just write another write a new story that involves all of the monsters. Basically write what's actually happening as your story, and then all you have to do is suck everyone back into it. So then they go on a mission to find his typewriter, because he needs his special typewriter to write the story. And more or less, that's actually going to be a fairly short review if I don't come up with more to say other than the basic plot of the movie. More or less, he's able to finish the story, everyone gets sucked back in. There are at least 2 twists, well, technically 3, but I'm going to say 2 twists that come about towards the end. One I sort of saw coming the closer they got to it. The other one I definitely saw coming. But they did it in a nice and a clever way to where I kind of forgot about it until it happened. So yeah. Like I said, it was more or less everything you see in the preview, except there's all the filler stuff, like explaining everything, running around trying to get to the school because there's a school dance and they're trying to warn everyone that the monsters are coming. So there's all that filler stuff that's going on throughout the movie, which makes it worth watching. But more or less, the movie is more or less what you think it would be. It's what you see in the previews. Did I like the movie? Yes, I did like it. Like I said, I'm not a huge R.L. Stine fan or Goosebumps fan, but I did actually enjoy this. I don't know how it compares to the books or anything like that, but I definitely enjoyed it. Would I recommend it? If you like Goosebumps, but like I said, I don't know how it compares to Goosebumps, so someone who's been into Goosebumps their whole life might see it and be like, oh, that was complete horseshit, it doesn't follow anything. I don't know. Personally, I enjoyed it. It is a very basic and generic story. Jack Black is kind of funny, though, and I like when Jack Black gets away from the over-the-top comedy and gets to play a bit of a menacing character, which is what he starts out as in this movie, and then he quickly goes back to comedic. But he has the look to be a very menacing character if he would take roles a little bit more seriously and not keep dumping back to the comedy. Honestly, like, I'm so used to him dumping back to comedy from a menacing character. There's one point where these little gnomes are tying his hands with ropes and everything, like holding him down to the floor, and I was seriously just waiting for them to make a Gulliver's Travel reference, because he was in the Gulliver's Travel movie that they made about 20 years ago or whatever. So I kept waiting for that reference to come up. Thankfully, he didn't throw that in there. You know, and it could have just been a simple thing like, "Oh no, not again," or something like that. You know, but he didn't go there. They kept it to where he was being R.L. Stine and not Jack Black, or at least their interpretation of what R.L. Stine would be. Because I don't actually know R.L. Stine or much about him to know what kind of person he is. Wow, that's probably going to be my shortest movie review ever. What would I give it on a star rating? I would say I'm going to give this one a 3.5. Like I said, it is a very basic story. It kind of gives you everything that you need to know about the story in the previews. So it's kind of a middle-of-the-road thing, but like I said, it's a fun ride getting there. Just following along with the characters. Even if you kind of know what's going to happen, it's still, you know, waiting for them to hit the marks that you know are coming is entertaining to get to. So it gets a little bit extra. It gets a little bit above the middle of the road just for that. So I'd say a 3.5 on this one. So that is it for this episode. Again, like I said, I can see one more movie here at this theater. At least until some more stuff opens that I want to see. As far as I know, this theater is not getting Star Wars, so I'd have to go across town. Actually, there is another theater closer to my house, but I think I mentioned before, like, the prices up there. Like, I'm paying basically $5 to $7 at my home theater here to see movies, and there's another one just up the street, which would be a little bit of a walk, but I could do it if I had to. Or if I did decide to drive and the car finally broke down, I'm close enough to home that it wouldn't matter. But the movie tickets up there are like $12 to $14 just for one movie. But I really want to see Star Wars, so I might check and see if they get it up there. And that way I can at least go see that if I can't go see it at the other theater across town, where I would only have to pay $5. Or maybe I'll get my car fixed between now and then. Who knows? So that is it for this episode. There will be at least one more coming up, and hopefully more. I do have a couple more product placements coming up, depending on when this goes out. Either they've already gone up or they will be going up. So until then, again, as always, thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, rate, subscribe, share, favorite, follow. I don't know. Whatever you can do on the page, you know, them little buttons down there or up there, wherever they are. Because that's why I'm always pointing randomly at the screen, is because I forget where they're at. But yeah, click all those. Do something with them. But until next time, as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the movies.